Hello and welcome to our next episode of Free Time Builds. Again, my name is Kevin and I'll be taking you through today's build. Today we're going to build one of my favorite items. I've made more of these than anything else. Everyone seems to love them, and it's a beverage carrier. Now, most of the time when you see these on a site, they'll be marked as a beer carrier. Because what guy wouldn't love a nice wooden beer carrier for his beer to go around? I've also put soda in them and water in them for people and relatives that don't drink beer as a gift. So let's break down the dimensions on this. The bottom is going to be 10 inches by 5.5. Our two sides are, again, 5.5 wide. We're keeping our same width. These are 11 inches tall. Our side pieces here are 10 inches. If you want to do strips like I do, that's good. I've seen some people do whole boards here and just leave the top of the box exposed. That way you can do more graphics, more detail, or maybe a message to someone. I like to do the strips so you can see more of the beverage. I find that more pleasing to me, but you can always customize it. Like you said, fun, easy build. Little changes you can very make customized. The handle here is 8.5 inches. It's the exact width here. I did change that from my previous builds. Previously, I'd always use a dowel and drill through. I wanted the sides on this to be more flush, so I just cut an internal. And again, just to make it look a little nicer than a straight piece of wood, I cut out some angles here, and you can also cut out a slot here for the handle if you so choose. Let's look at the inside of one of these. You're going to need 3 pieces. You're going to need 2 pieces 4 inches wide by 5.5 to span the width, and then you're going to need 1 piece 8.5 inches wide, because again, this is 10 inches, the whole bottom piece, and we have 3/4 and 3/4, so 10 minus 1.5 inches is 8.5. That's where we get our 8.5 measurement from. So that's that, and this will stretch the inside. The next thing you want to do is you want to find the center on your 2 5.5 inch wide pieces, and you're going to cut. This sheeting is 1/4 inch, so you might need to cut it a little thicker, a little shorter, depending on the material you're using. Find your center, measure 1/4, cut down. I find these are 4 inches wide. 4 inches tall, depending on how you look at it. If you only cut 2 inches, the exact center, they don't really sit flush. So I usually cut a little more, maybe between 2 and 1/8, maybe between 2 and 1/8 and 2 1/4. I find they sit much more flush. For the inside piece, the long one, this is again going to be 8.5 inches. So we need 3 sections. If you divide 8.5 by 3, you get approximately 2.8. There is no exact 2.8 in our ruler. So what I did is I went to 2.75, moved over the next line. I slid my piece on it. I measured the sides. I did the next part for the same measurement over. Measured my sides. And then I have my cut lines. I cut down. Again, I cut this one down also past the 2 inch, which would be the exact center of the 4 inch board here. But again, I find if you do that, they don't seat flat and properly. So cut between 2 and 1/8 to 2.2 inches, and you'll find they seat very well. And when you put this in, this will sit nice and strong in the middle. These won't move because you have the sides holding it together. As you can see with the one I still have put together and didn't take apart, you can see these pieces are cut. They're nice and seated well. There's no movement or shifting on them at all because they're cut to the exact measurements of the inside going each direction. All right, let's get ready and let's go build. Okay, now that we have our clean side, we're going to put that here, use that to measure off of. So here, measure our 10. Okay, now we have all our pieces. We have our internal pieces, right? We have our sides, and we have our frame. Really getting there. So now the most important thing is before we put in everything, we're going to sand it. Let's make sure everything matches up. These are perfect wide, good. And this will sit right in here. Okay, so metal pieces, 5.5, so 2 7/8. Then I go over a little. So there's our center for our piece. There. Good. And then 2 inches down, halfway, and then one's gonna be halfway too. And then we'll measure and cut that in a moment.
See you next time.